Hello, my name is Pokocky. I'm an HR consultant and life and success mindset coach. Welcome to the Livefully podcast, where we touch on everything in regards to growth, evolution, personal development, as well as some story times and interviews to keep it interesting. My hope is to bring you value and inspire you, entertain you, in order for you to live a more fulfilled life starting now. Thank you for tuning in, and let's get started. Hello, my loves. Welcome to this week's podcast. If you're on Spotify and you hear little noises and you're not watching the video, well, I am breastfeeding right now, my little 2-week-old. So I have a 2-week-old. I want to film this quick, short episode for you guys on managing your time and protecting your energy. And I'm sorry, the baby's with me. He has to be. He's part of this. He's part of my time right now, and he's a top priority. He needs to be fed. So you might hear a couple of noises. This is my only time slot that I can film this. So you will definitely hear him for a little bit, but hopefully he doesn't drink the whole time. And hopefully he's quiet enough and you hear my voice and I'm clear and loud enough so you guys can get all the tips you need from this video. I just finished a coaching call with a client and I was feeding the baby. He was sleeping through the call. Now we're feeding him again. And this morning I was thinking of the importance of protecting your energy, how there is so much coming at us at every single moment, how everyone wants to get our attention for different reasons, whether it's work, whether it's business, whether it's social, whether it's relationships, family, anything of the sort. There are so many notifications coming at us. Everybody can reach us. It's not like anything there has been in the past where there's so many people that can reach you 24/7, and you need to be aware of that and you need to be conscious of what it is that you want people to be reaching you out for, what it is you want to be answering to, where you want to be saying yes. And you need to be on top of your agenda and you need to be dictating where your time is going, because if you are not dictating where your time is going, it will be chosen for you by people that are writing to you, by situations and emergencies that are coming up, by other people's agenda basically. So if you are not setting your agenda, if you are not prioritizing your time, what is valuable to you, what is supposed to take precedence on what tasks or what social events should be prioritized over what other social events or whatever it is that it may be, if you're not clear on that and you're not dictating your agenda, you're not overseeing your agenda and deciding where your time is going, your time will be taken by everything else around you. Today, we're in a world where your attention is taken at any second and everybody is trying to get your attention to sell you something, to get something from you, whatever it may be. And sometimes it's well-intentioned, sometimes it's badly intentioned, but you need to understand that there's so much information coming at us like never before. And it's going to keep getting even more intense and more intense and more intense. I'm actually reading at the moment a book called Stolen Focus. It's absolutely insane. I'm getting so much value from it. It's so interesting. So I highly recommend it. But it made me think of exactly that, like the fact that there's so much of our attention that is required today. People want your attention every second. If you are not dictating your agenda, you're not in control of your calendar, you're not in control of your time and your energy, because time and energy are correlated. Like if you're giving all your time away, you will be depleted from energy. You need to make sure that there's things in your calendar that are filling up your cup. Okay, so if you're giving your time to everybody else and you're not on top of your time and you're not managing your time correctly, you will be depleted in energy and everybody else will be controlling and dictating how you're feeling, what's going on, and all these things. So we really need to get on top of that in order to be able to have any kind of direction, impact, and to be able to fulfill our goals and our dreams and where we're trying to go. It's really nice to have vision boards and dreams, but you guys have to be able to have moments in your calendar where you can book in the podcast you want to film, where you can book in that time where you spend with your partner, that time where you spend with your girlfriend, whatever it is that you're trying to prioritize in your life. You need to make time for it in your calendar. And the only way to be able to make time for it is to know what's going on and to be really like the complete master of your calendar, your time, and protect it with your life. Protect your time and your energy with your life. Oftentimes we all do it. Like for me this week, I've been way too open. So I had to put my phone on personal last night. And what that means is that I was too accessible. Okay. So anyone could be calling me at any second. I'm answering, I'm trying to help out. They're calling me for work situations or clients are calling and I'm answering. I'm not supposed to answer right now. I'm with my baby. I'm with my family. Those are my priorities. And why is my phone open? And why is everyone having access to me? I'm blocking it. I'm putting it in personal. So let's start with the little fun, quick tips that you can do for yourself to protect your energy in regards to your phone and how people reach you and all of that. So the first thing I want you to do is I want you to cut all notifications. shut down all notifications. Keep certain things if you want open, like let's say your partner or maybe your mom, because you need to, I don't know, she's babysitting and you want her to be able to access you and call you easily. But if not, I want you to completely shut off all notifications from apps. I want you to have absolutely no social media notifications coming into your phone. You do not need those notifications at all. Those notifications are notifications that are other people interacting with you, and you don't need to see that. You will go on the app. Trust me, you will go on the app. You go on the app all the time. You will go to the app and you will check in on it, and you will see those notifications once you're there. You don't need them on your home screen, because every time they're popping up on your phone, they're calling your attention away from whatever it is that you're doing, and you will need 27 minutes, it's proven, to come back to the task that you're doing. So please don't do that to yourself. Cut all notifications from all apps. No social media apps should be popping on your phone. My email notifications are not on. They've never been on. I'm going to go check my email. I check it every day. We all check it. Some people check it obsessively, and they need to time it out in their calendar because they are doing it too much. And that also can be extremely distracting. So we'll talk about that, but all notifications are off. So let's go to email right away if we're talking about that right now. I want you to you're cutting all notifications from emails. So when you're doing that, if that is causing you stress and you have a business where you need to be replying throughout the day, what I want you to do is I want you to give yourself time slots. So like 15 minutes, 30 minutes, even an hour if you want, but like you should do 15. That's more than enough. And you can put it out throughout the day. You can do a 1 hour in the morning or a little 30 minutes before and at the end of the day. So I want you to put that in your calendar and know that you will get to that when you get to that. That means that you will look at those emails and you will get into those conversations once you're there. So that means that you're taking ownership and you're going to be in full power, and you won't be reacting to emails. So you're going to get stuff done much quicker, and you'll be so much more productive, and you'll be so much more balanced, calm, and making right decisions instead of just reacting to anything that's coming in and letting it bring you throughout your day wherever it wants you to bring you in accordance to whoever's emailing you and asking stuff from you. That is really important for emails. Socials, like I said, no notifications on. And you absolutely need an app on your phone for your calendar for your appointments. If you like paper, you can also use both. I use both. I interchange them. But you want your phone in order to be able to write down appointments that are coming up that maybe are in a couple of months. You want your phone down also for reminders, to be able to write down reminders that you're going to afterwards put in your to-do list, that maybe you're using a to-do list written out. So I want you to use a calendar app, and I want you to put in all the important appointments, anything you need in there. And a good trick, if you're using Google Calendar, is I want you to use different calendars. That means that I want you to create calendars for all the things that are important in your life. So this is where it gets interesting. This is where we are protecting our energy. If you want to be able to protect your energy, you want to protect your time, and you want to own that area, and you want to be able to be on top of that, that means getting so clear on what is important to you. Getting clear on what season of life you're in, what's important, and what you need to prioritize for that moment. We need to be able to get on top of that and to decide for ourselves and to protect our energy, to protect our space, and to be able to make sure that all the things that are priorities and valued to us are taking the front seat. Okay, so we're not letting them take the back seat, we're making them take the front seat. So this is another amazing tip that I want you to use for yourself, is that I absolutely want you to be able to decide and to establish what are your values, what priorities come from that, what season of life are you in as well, because there's different seasons. For me right now, I have a newborn and I have another kid, and family is definitely dominating right now in this season of life. But in a certain amount of time, it's not going to be that. A certain amount of time, it's going to be businesses. For my partner, maybe it's businesses that are dominating right now because he's opening some and it's growing and all of that stuff. So that's definitely a priority for him. So, and the new babies and the family as well. So he has to make sure that there's time in his calendar for family and the businesses. Whereas for me, it's, let's say my coaching, I want to build that, but I don't want to build it exponentially right now. I'm not ready to sustain that right now. My priorities are my babies. So I'm making sure that that's there. I'm making sure that all my other bases are covered for work and that I'm still growing in that sense. But I want to make sure for sure that my babies are taken care of. And let's say right now, okay, I'm filming in my other podcast without makeup on because I don't care for makeup. What's important is filming this podcast for you, bringing you so much value and information on this podcast, and being with my baby, which I am doing those things right now. So I want you to absolutely sit down and to get clear on your priorities, your values. So we're making sure that they're in your calendar. That's what I was saying before the doorbell rang, is that I want you to use Google Calendar, and I want you to create calendars. I have one that's for self-love. I have one that's for appointments. One that's for, what is it called? appointments. I have one that's for me and my partner. We share one together. I have one for work stuff, business stuff. I have one for workouts, and I'm pretty sure that's it. So I literally have a calendar for self-love. I have a calendar for social as well. So I'm making sure that all the bases are covered that are important to me, and that the things, like the priorities I have, that they're showing up in my calendar. So in the next couple of weeks, I know I want to be able to make my friends meet my little baby. And I want to see my friends because I have not seen them in a while. So I'm going to make sure that I'm seeing them, and I'm going to make sure that they're prioritized and they're showing up in my calendar with my social calendar. So those things are really important, and you really need to be clear on what is important to you and what takes precedence over what. So yes, all these things are important to you, but what's number one? What's number two? What's number three? What order are they in? Because if everything's happening at once and you have all these requests and all these things to do and all these to-dos that you have to do, that you have on your to-do list, all these tasks and all these projects, what is going to take precedence over what, for what reason? And you need to be able to clarify what's important to you and what takes precedence on what, so that you can easily make decisions and you're not letting other people decide. Like, there are emergencies, and their emergencies are not taking up your calendar, filling up your life, burning you out, and depleting you of energy. So in your priorities, you need to make sure that you're also carving out time that is things that are going to fill you up. I want you to get clear and make sure that it's in your calendar, things that are important for you, things that are going to fill your cup up and that you're going to feel great about, so that you're making sure that you're able to come in and serve for the family you have, for work, for business, for your clients, whatever it may be. You need to make sure that your cup is full. So what fills your cup? Is it 30 minutes of reading? Is it a long bath? Put it in your calendar. Make sure that it's happening. Make sure that you're prioritizing that over answering somebody's text for an emergency that they have, that oftentimes if you don't answer, they'll text you 2 hours later and it'll be resolved. So I really need you to get clear on that, get clear on what fills up your cup. So your priorities, your values, making sure that's all in your calendar, that you have a calendar for each of those priorities. And then I want you to make sure that you're clear on what fills up your cup. And I want you to put that in your self-love calendar and to put it in your calendar. Is it cooking? Is it a long bath? And if things like spending time with your kids is important, make sure that you're carving out time for that. So for me, our mornings are slow. We bring the baby to daycare later than most people do. I feel like people bring them at 9. We bring them around 10:30, 11 max. And that makes it so we have a family time in the morning. We all have breakfast together. We have our coffee. I read. Lenny plays with his toys. I play with him. Daddy plays with him. We dance. We put music on. It's a great, fun morning. I know it'll change when school starts because there's different hours. We'll get to that when we get there. But right now we're in the season of life where I can do that for us, and I create those moments for our family, and we have amazing time that way. It's very important for you to be able to be so intentional of how you're managing your time, and that you're literally putting in your calendar things like taking a bath, things like being with your baby, things like reading your book, because those things are important. They fill up your cup, they make you happier, and then you can show up with the rest of your life and make sure that everything is taken care of, and you're fully owning your calendar, you're fully owning your time, and that you are the visionary and the master of your calendar, and people are not coming in with all their requests and completely derailing you at any second moment. You won't be able to say yes to everybody as well when you know that you have your bubble bath booked. You won't be able to book that call at that time because your bubble bath's booked. You won't be able to do taxes at that time because your bubble bath is booked. Like, put those things in there so it doesn't get filled up by all these other obligations that we have, and we will always have them. We have so many. We all have never-ending to-do lists, but if you're clear on priorities, you'll be able to clearly identify what it is that needs to take precedence, what's missing, what's lacking. And if you're feeling burnt out right now, sit down and make sure that there are things in your week that are filling you up. Because even if you're in a busy period or you're in a busy season with work or whatever it may be, you absolutely need even more of those self-love rituals, of that meditation, of that reading of your books, whatever it is that's bringing you, filling up your cup. You need to keep doing that, because if your cup's on empty and you're trying to keep showing up at work, keep showing up for whatever it is that it may be, your kids, anything, and you're not filling your cup up at all, you're going to be completely depleted, and this is where we lead to burnout. So this is going to avoid burnout. It's going to protect your energy. You'll feel like you're in control. You'll feel like you will be able to identify when you're off track and you need to bring it back, reel it back in, and make sure that you're prioritizing yourself. Again, I felt a little overwhelmed this week, so that's why I'm filming this video with these tricks. I'm going to reel it back in, make sure that my calendar makes sense, that I'm saying yes to certain things. And a good point is you also need to remember that if you teach people that you answer their messages on the dot, that you answer their emails on the same time they sent it to you, and you're super quick, that's amazing, but you're not a business. You don't need to answer like that, okay? You're not running, like you're not a business, you're your own person. You're teaching people how you are responding. If you teach them that you respond on the dot right away, the same minute they text you, they will expect that from you. So make sure that you're setting expectations that you're comfortable with. Make sure you're setting expectations and people understand that you don't answer right away because you have other priorities and it's not about them, it's not personal, but you need to not answer everybody right away if you don't want them to expect an answer right away. I hope that makes sense. I hope all these tricks were good. It's a quick, short episode, but I really wanted to give you guys tips on managing your time, protecting your energy by protecting your time, and making sure that you're not letting your phone, you're not letting everybody else take over your agenda, take over your time, and make you lose focus of where you're trying to go. So if you're protecting your time, you'll be able to really start achieving the goals and the dreams and start implementing plans and finding time also to implement the plans that you want for future goals that you have and be able to plan that out. There is no way you can plan out new strategies for your life or new ways of being, or maybe even time for yourself in your week if you're not clear on a big portrait of like what's going on. Where can I have more time? Where can I create more time? Where can I carve out more space? You really need to be able to have a vision of that. Either it's digital or it's on paper. You can also do that way, but you really need to take a moment and make sure that that's clear for yourself and that you're really respecting yourself in that, and you'll be so much happier. You'll show up as a much better wife, a much better girlfriend, a much better mom, a much better coworker, a much better business leader. Whatever it is that you're doing, you will show up even stronger because you will be so clear and you will not let everything in your life throw you off kilter. You'll be grounded, you'll have direction, and you'll be able to make sure that you're taken care of. Your cup is full and you can fill other people's cups as well. So I hope that this quick short episode was helpful. It helped you gain a little bit of tips on managing your time, managing how your phone interacts with you and how you control it, and you control your time and your calendar. And I will see you guys next week for a fun episode. Thank you so much for listening, and I cannot wait to chat with you guys next.